Welcome, everybody. First things first, as always, if I could just get a quick audio visual check, please let me know if you can see my charts clearly and hear me all right by letting me know how your day is going. Hopefully, the blood in the markets here hasn't ruined your day too badly. And yeah, after confirmation, so I know I'm not just talking to myself here, we can get started. Kool-Aid, thank you. Thank you. Honestly, guys, this is not to like pump my own tires or anything, but this is actually because I am curious if anybody else has called this bearish trend for all of 2025 basically so far. Let me know in the comments who, because honestly, I would like to follow someone else as well, who is looking at things for how the charts are rather than the echo chamber that you so often see on Twitter and stuff like that. So yeah, if anyone there new deserves a follow or anything, let me know in the comments. Adrian, good to see you here, buddy. I know you've been crushing this short trend. Audio's good. Right on. Sounds good. You can see everything. Shit coins are down. Perfect. Everything's going to plan so far. Perfect. Right on, guys. All right. Well, thank you. And how do I put this, you guys? Bitcoin looks like absolute trash. That's the nicest thing I can say about it. And for those of you who have been joining my recent streams and those of you in my Telegram channel, none of this price action should have come as a surprise to you. I don't think I could have been more vocal with my warnings for the last month or two. But now that we're absolutely nuking, what's next for Bitcoin? We have a couple things we got to talk to because you guys, one thing that I need to mention right now is the thing is, I personally think that late shorts are going to get punished eventually. I am not saying that, short absolutely anything and you're going to be okay. No, it's nothing like that. The fact is, I'm now starting to see people agree with me. People are finally starting to be bearish and that sort of stuff. And guys, if that is you, just understand that I've been bearish since basically our all-time high. I mean, I said I thought that January 20th was going to be our top. It was honestly, guys, the Trump inauguration was such an obvious sell the news event that seeing the copium across Twitter and that sort of stuff, it's absolutely painful because I have been warning about this actually even in my Twitter channel here. I was predicting this a month in advance, basically. I was looking for that very specific RSI divergence. We ended up getting it, and then we dumped off a cliff. I mean, none of this came as a surprise. But yeah, just looking at Bitcoin right now, basically I see a couple of options right now. If we can actually reclaim this 89K approximately support level, you guys know I was actually watching that level. And I mentioned this in my last couple of streams that I wanted to see a swing fail at that level. I really wanted to get a nasty swing fail there where we basically just drop that line, got a little wick down below, and then end up closing some 4-hour candles above. I was looking to long the shit out of this. I don't care, like, however bearish that I've been, that is the type of setup that I was ready to take a nice tight invalidation type of setup. We never did get any 4-hour closes above that. I did end up trying to hedge along on a shorter time frame, just a bit of a scalp, but when we re-lost it, I just wasn't interested anymore. But yeah, it's Bitcoin doesn't look good. All I'm seeing right now, yeah, everyone's grasping to any bullish hopium they can, any sort of fundamental, because they want to just ignore the charts for some reason. Guys, this is just a classic support resist flip. You guys know I've been watching this level basically since we had our high back here and our higher high, thus confirming this as our higher low on the trend. And we broke that and we flipped that support into resistance. Yes, if we can reclaim it, I am totally open to the idea of, well, in that case, the people who are jumping on the shorts late are going to get punished. You guys know I've been short. I still have my short open from $101,626 up at this level. You guys know it was probably about 3 weeks ago now. I took that hedge short. I still have a quarter of that running. I still have part of this position running. I have part of a Trump position running. I have been shorting the absolute shit out of this market basically all of 2025 so far. I have maybe taken 2 or 3 long positions and I've probably taken a couple hundred shorts. So that just kind of goes to show where my bias lies right now. And I am not opposed to being a moon boy again, guys. I can't wait. My thing is I'm just waiting for confirmations. I am not interested in catching a knife. Even the fact that we have this important support line, flipping it into resistance. Look at the price structure beside us here, guys. Look at this price structure. We basically shot straight to the upside. There is nothing saying that we can't do the exact opposite. So often when the price makes a large breakout like that, I mean, there hasn't really been any consolidation on the way up. Yeah, we had a little bit here around 75K, but really that's really not a lot of structure, you guys. And honestly, if we go that low, my concern is then I would be expecting a Stuber fib pull from the previous range. And guys, I know a lot of people are going to tell me, haha, you're not going to see those levels. Well, remember in a couple streams ago, I was told we would never see 94K again. I think it was my last stream. I was told we would not see 89K again. And now, yeah, if we keep dropping here, if we don't reclaim that support fairly soon, I think we're heading down towards 63K. I'm happy to be wrong on that, you guys. The thing is with trading, and this is something not a lot of traders understand, reacting and planning is so much more important than analyzing. Analyzing is one thing, but you have to have a plan B, basically. And that's the thing that most traders get wrong, is they kind of get an idea in their head and they're not willing to be wrong about that. Whereas, people who are saying, oh, we're definitely going up or we're definitely going down, quite honestly, those are the people I will completely ignore. I will not even entertain that kind of mentality from an actual trader. The traders that I do listen to, the traders that I respect in the space are the ones who say, if this happens, I'm going to do this. If this happens, I'm going to do that. Kind of planning for either scenario, because you will need to see what's actually going to happen. And then you have your strategy fitting that narrative, right? I mean, that's how we trade. We don't trade by just saying this has to do this for whatever reason. It's about having, invalidation levels, and it's about reacting to certain levels. So yeah, if we just start basically trending to the downside here, do something like this, and we don't quite make it there, and we do something like that and break this structure, then yeah, I'm open to the idea of reversing early. Just like right now, if we can reclaim, first of all, on the immediate trend, that would be breaking this lower high. As well with that, it would match up with reclaiming that old range support. So I think at that point, yeah, we would climb back to the top of this range. I would not be surprised at all. Honestly, I'm surprised we never did reclaim that. I thought, there's so many liquidation levels above us with high leverage liquidity. I think it's only a matter of time until we end up getting some sort of a bounce. The thing is, I have been ready for this well in advance, and I got my shorts in. Profits have been locked in. I'm continuing pulling more profits out of my positions. I'm not shorting in. Well, actually, that's not true. I am still taking scalp shorts, but understand that I'm willing to update any new positions very quickly, updating my stop loss quickly, taking partial profits, just like I was with my earlier positions to protect myself. But a lot of people are just looking for a breakdown. It's time for the bear market. We're going straight down now. The same people who thought we were going straight up, now they think we're going straight down. So just be a little bit cautious of that. I know I was talking to a friend of mine who I really respect in the space, and he was basically saying that, I think everyone's too bearish at this point. I think it makes a lot of sense that we end up climbing. And I agree 100% with that. Here's my concern with that is, one, I just need the confirmation in the charts, because you guys know I'm not a fundamental guy at all. I will always, if fundamentals are going to matter at all, the chart is going to back that up. So until we get some sort of confirmation in the chart, I'm just not interested in playing the long side at this time. As well, I do agree that everyone on social media is getting extremely bearish, which makes me want to lean bullish. But here's the thing, guys. I don't know, like the FOMO, no matter how bearish people are, there is such strong FOMO in the market. And even though people are saying that they're bearish, they're not putting their money where their mouth is for the most part. And a lot of them are still counter trading their own idea. And what I mean by that is, if I bring up the long short ratio, I mean, as bearish as everybody on social media seems, 74.6% of retail on Binance is long, you guys. Retail is desperately trying to FOMO any kind of dip, because your favorite influencers are telling you, buy the dip, we're going back up. Eventually, yes, I agree we're going back up, but just buying the dip just for, farming that engagement and stuff like that. There's clearly still a lot of fuel that could push us way lower. There's obviously still people buying if retail is almost 75% long. That is a crazy freaking number, you guys. On top of that, I want to bring up, just while it's in my visual here, this 1 month chart. You guys, the Moon Boys, a couple of months ago, even last month, loved talking about this monthly chart. I have not seen it brought up once since we got a massive engulfing red candle. People are now ignoring this monthly chart completely. So there's a couple things going for the Bitcoin bears that I just can't get over at this point, you guys. I do need to catch up on the chat a little bit here because I see that there is a lot of posts in there. I just got to make sure that I'm answering questions and that sort of stuff. But guys, basically, I mean, Bitcoin's just looking rough. I was talking in the Telegram last night that I was still only interested in shorting because this is that the old support resist line, right? I have it mapped out here just so that I can keep an eye on that SR flip. Yes, we got above it very briefly, but what happened after we got above it? Actually, I haven't even checked this, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, we just got a Stuber fib set up there. We then got a bounce. Everybody got FOMO again. We got another Stuber fib setup. And then we basically did the same thing in this whole range, right? I mean, none of these setups would have been invalidated. They were all classic Stuber fib setups. Just look at all those short opportunities in there. And then, yeah, even this morning, we had this big one here, even just before starting the stream. Even this guy played out. Look at this. Even just this mini guy right here, we just basically got, yeah, I always front run my 214 as well. So yeah, basically this has played out too. Notice it never quite got invalidated there. So if you did take a trade like that, for those of you guys in the Telegram and you're starting to learn about the Stuber fibs and that sort of thing, yeah, if you laddered into a position like this, you have an average entry, somewhere up in here. If you're laddering in properly with your heavier entries, closer to your invalidation to pull that entry. And guys, that is not to be confused with doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. When I ladder into a position, I mean, I have a position size in mind and I'm breaking it up from there, not doubling down and shit like that as it, goes against me or whatever. So understand the difference there. But this would have been a beautiful trade. You would have hit your first target easily. And then depending how much you're front running your second fib there, may have hit your second target. But yeah, obviously it's just another beautiful Stuber scalp that has played out there. But yeah, just guys, I just can't say anything too bullish about this market right now, unless, like I said, we break this lower high on the micro trend. And as well, that would just be reclaiming that support. At that point, I think it makes a lot of sense. We end up testing the top of the range again. And if I was looking for an area of where I think we would go to, I mean, this box is actually going to change. But the highest I can really see this price going since we got this structure break. And guys, this is where, in my opinion, if we do get an aggressive bounce, mark my words, you are going to see an insane amount of bullish hopium right at resistance, as we always do. If we get back up to that 104 to 107K from here, everyone is going to be on the tables screaming all-time highs, bears get wrecked, all that sort of stuff. They're going to FOMO long into resistance again, and down we're going to go. Obviously, that doesn't have to happen. That's just a typical Stuber fib where, hey, we did break this structure. We set a lower low. And from there, that's where I would look for that pullback, right? Everyone seems to forget that bounces are natural after breaking structure like this. It's just that with that lower low, I would be expecting a lower high, and a perfect lower high and a perfect bull trap would be just shy of resistance, basically. So that's kind of the thought behind that. But yeah, I just, this just looks nasty, you guys. I was warning in the Telegram, and the last, I don't know, 2 months now, I was warning about this weekly chart here. Just disgusting, you guys. This was, as I was mentioned, this is one of my top performing back tested trade strategies when looking for reversals. Everyone told me I was crazy about some of my price predictions, and it's all playing out right in front of us. So yeah, anything can happen from here. That's why I'm a big fan of taking profits as a position runs. And from here, I have no stress. You guys, making money on the way down has such a special feel to it because everybody's in full panic mode right now. Nobody has a clue what to do. People are asking me, Stu, what do I do now? I didn't listen to you and that sort of thing. I don't know, to be honest. The trade setup that I was looking at is well underway. So yeah, at this point, invalidation of this this weekly signal is all-time highs, right? And that's getting far away. That's like 20% or whatever. It's just one of those things, guys, where planning ahead and being ready for what the market is going to throw at us is very important. And guys, that is what we are doing in my Telegram channel. We've been absolutely crushing this bearish trend in my Telegram channel, which is free to join, by the way. So scan the QR code or click the link and follow the steps in the description below. You must sign up to BloFin using my partner link and deposit at least 300 USDT into your futures account. This is not a payment to me at all. This is your own money to trade with in your new BloFin account. These ideas I've been sharing now have had absolutely zero to do with FUD, exchange hacks, tariffs, any of that other nonsense. This was all predicted well in advance based entirely on chart structure. So guys, in fact, like I said, I was even warning about this, in 2024, the end of 2024, I was warning about this potential bearish setup, and here we are. And now people panic. There is such a special feeling to making money on the downside. Shorts generally play out faster. I love shorting this market. I know some of you guys in the chat, Adrian, I know a few of us have been absolutely crushing this trend. And it's all in the charts, guys. I know everyone wants to blame things. Oh, it was going so good until Trump opened his mouth about tariffs. Guys, this is all expected. This is all in the charts. And honestly, my big edge in the market, I say this all the time, is that I truly do not give a damn at all about Trump speeches, Powell speeches, any sort of fundamental, what Saylor's doing, any fundamental. I am so good at just putting my fingers in my ears and not giving a shit and just reading the charts. And that is a huge advantage in these markets, because people always love to say, oh, but that setup's not going to happen. This time's different because this is happening fundamentally. Here's the thing, guys. When I go back and back test multiple years of data and charts, I never once have gone back to find out what fundamentally was happening at that time. So if you do actually properly backtest your strategy, do you look back at the fundamentals? Probably not. You're just looking at the chart. And that's where we learn to play our odds on the chart. And guys, I hate to say it, but people looking for those excuses and those, those confirmations on fundamentals and stuff like that to try and look for an edge on the market. You're not an insider trader. You're not one of the first to get any sort of news. By the time you get the news, I mean, good luck is all I can say with trying to play the news. And I say that from a place of concern, because I have been that guy. I have not traded. Let's put this out there, guys. In the last 3 years, I have not once in the last 3 years taken a trade based off something fundamental. A few years ago, yes, I used to try and play news. I used to look for an edge by reading headlines and that sort of thing. And then I turned that all off. I got very good at ignoring it. Now I play only the charts because I backtest things. And like I said, no idea what was happening fundamentally when those things were playing out. So I just go ahead and play my strategies, right? And yeah, I know which one I'm going to continue to do. So I guess that's one way to put it. But guys, let me know in the chat how you feel about these markets. Let me know if you think I'm totally out to lunch with my bearish theories, if you think I'm bang on, if you think we're going considerably lower, if you think we're going to bounce from here, let me know. Also, just let me know how you're doing in general, you guys. How are the markets treating you? And I'm just going to bring up the 1 minute chart here. Let this play out a little bit and just catch up on the chat a little bit here. So I hope you guys are doing very well here. Sorry if I sound quite negative and, I know some people are sick of me being bearish, but I'm sorry. I would rather just lay it out how I see it rather than looking for that engagement farming. If you want to keep listening to those influencers who, you know, just because somebody's rich and has a big following doesn't necessarily mean they're a good trader, right? It means that maybe they got lucky once. Who knows? Maybe they have money coming in from elsewhere. And that's not for anyone specific. I'm just saying that, you know, everybody with the huge accounts are always bullish, always bullish. So just understand that there is a difference between an influencer and a trader. And as traders, we're looking at the charts, and that's all that we're interested in. So if that interests you, you just want to learn more about my insights on the market, my trade strategies, stuff like that. Like I said, do yourself a favor, scan the QR code, get in the Telegram. Guys, even something, I know I shared this on my Twitter and on Financial Summit's YouTube channel. There is a Stuber Fib video. A lot of people have been asking me for that. So due to popular demand, I did release one of those. That is public. I also released a private one for just people in my Telegram channel that really breaks down how I go into the structure, how I recognize ranges, exactly how I've been playing this bearish range and or not bearish range, bearish trend. Exactly how I look at the markets for structure wise, for fibs and all that sort of stuff. Exactly why I was able to predict all this price action so well recently. So do yourselves a favor, get in there. Some good educational content in there now as well. So hope to see you in there. But yeah, guys, Trump right now, I am seeing this potential Stuber short right here. Basically, we have this, we lost this low. So we have a lower low, and we basically got a swing fail up here. So yes, if we end up breaking above my 115 fib, I would say this is invalidated. And as always, if I was looking to take the short, I actually did take a little short on this just before starting the stream, full disclosure. So I'm looking at these targets as always with any Stuber fib setup. I'm looking at starting to take profits around those fibs, and I always do front run them a little bit. So that's kind of my game plan there. If this ends up getting stopped out, whatever, the gains the last few days have far outweighed that. So I'm just looking at this as a potential continuation here. Honestly, down here, I mean, we did have a bullish Stuber down here. So in my opinion, that's why we got the bounce there. And just to show you what I mean there, we obviously got something like so. Let me just erase the bearish one here. And there, yeah, you can see that we came right down to the 786. Actually got it back here as well, but came down to the 786 here and got that bounce and damn near the second target now. So just another reason that, you know, for this bullish setup, we're getting very close to the Stuber target of the range there. So just another reason why we might end up reversing here soon. Obviously, there is still resistance up a little bit higher, but I'm looking at this as just kind of a scalp setup opportunity. So, but yeah, Bitcoin, like I said, we had this recent Stuber fib here. I want to start taking a look at a few indicators. I want to get rid of these arrows here just because they are kind of in our way a little bit. And I am going to map out this Stuber fib box here. Because like I said, if we do get a bounce, I totally see the reason why we go way up there. I'm not the type of perma bear who thinks that we have to go straight down. That's not how the markets go. They go both directions. I'm just feeling more confident trading the bearish side right now because I think there's a bigger chance of the bigger continuation move, basically, right? This looks like a classic Bart Simpson. We got Bart's hairline here. And like I said, not much structure on the way up. So I don't see why we wouldn't just continue to the downside. But happy to be wrong about that. You know what? Like, I'm just like everybody else. I have spot bags that are getting absolutely hammered right now. But honestly, my trading account is outperforming the loss that my altcoins are taking big time. So I really have no complaints about that. I can always buy some later with some of the profits. So not too concerned. I keep getting sidetracked here and not catching up on the chat. But yeah, I'll just let the Bitcoin 1 minute play out a little bit here. Dead cat bounce to the 786. Yeah, I could totally see that. Kool-Aid entered a biohacker, entered a short out of the triangle. I assume you had something drawn up here. Just understand, if like, here's the thing, guys. We can have the same charts, the same indicators, absolutely everything the same. And I promise you we would trade this market differently. other than maybe a few of you guys I know who have very similar strategies to me. But for the most part, everyone's going to trade completely different. And me and another guy the other day on a voice chat, we both took exact opposite trades at the exact same time, and we both profited on our position. So that's what I mean when I talked about earlier about there's analyzing, but then it's more so the reaction. It's the execution is all that matters. We can have totally different opinions about the market, and as long as our execution is well, we can both profit. Just like if our execution is poor, we can both lose our positions. So the analysis part doesn't actually matter all that much unless you have some sort of a strategy to actually trade on rather than a gut feeling. So that's definitely something to consider, you guys. I'm not saying that anybody who's long right now is wrong or that you're going to get wrecked or anything, because there could be some people who are long in this market who are outperforming me. I have no idea, right? It all depends on that execution that people have on their trade setups. Let's catch up here. Ruined. It was a great day for scalping. Yeah, absolutely, Highlander. You get it. I feel the same way. I had a fantastic day. I have really zero complaints about what's been happening. All right, 88 watching. Right on, guys. Again, guys, if you've appreciated these videos over the last month or two, my very level-headed approach, just kind of laying out my game plan. If you do appreciate these videos, these streams, the Telegram, all of it, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because you don't want to miss these videos as long as you enjoy being here, obviously. Mystical dude, you were right again. Thanks. Thanks, dude. Try not to pump my ego. Ben Cowan called it. Yeah, I actually did notice that as well. Adrian, finally people are getting smarter and get the point. Maybe, but again, if too many people start flipping bearish, I think at that point we're going to get a reversal. But as long as people are still longing based on the long short ratio, there's still potential fuel there. Paco, where is Tone Vase? He does the morning show, so you've already missed him for the day, I believe. I just lost the 618. Perfect. Taking longs feels dirty. Yeah, I mentioned that in the MDX algo the other day, that I felt dirty when I took a hedge long. Taking longs is dumb. Again, not necessarily. As long as you have a proper trading strategy, taking longs can be very profitable on the way down too. It's, depending how long you're holding on to trades, where you're taking profits, all that sort of thing. Let's make a big ass Bart. I agree. That'd be fun. 63K, here we come. That's my target. And when I say my target, again, it's not like I'm not taking any profits before then. It's just more so when I look at targets like this, you guys, when I'm looking at something like this and looking at a target, oh, sorry, that's actually a different target. We're not going to talk about that one quite yet. But a target like this, just because, and again, we're going to have to see what happens. We reclaim that support. This all goes out the window, obviously. But at this point, if we go much lower, I just don't really see a reason why we wouldn't go down to the Stuber fib. And before anybody tells me that you're not going to see that again, remember, I was told the same thing about this 4-hour Stuber when I think we were trading right about here. And I was on a live stream on this very channel. And I had mentioned that I thought we were going to 94K. And I was told that will not happen. You will not see 94K again. The only reason I said that is because if this was, in fact, a 5-minute chart or a 1-minute chart, which you guys know is more my trading style, I would not have been looking for an entry on a long until that 786, 886. So I know a lot of traders say, hey, we have this resistance here. Hey, we broke it, time to long. Not necessarily. That was my signal that basically I think, hey, we broke resistance, although we did get a swing fail there as well. If this was a 5-minute chart, if I was looking to long, I would not be playing the breakout. I would be looking for a pullback to that 786, 886 fib pocket. So that's why I figured we were going there, because to me, the time frame doesn't matter, you guys. And this is something very important. I know not everybody likes leverage trading. Not everybody likes scalping lower time frames. But understand structure is structure. I treat the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 4 hour, the weekly. I treat it all the same. It's structure is structure. Some of them take longer to play out, which is exactly why people thought I was crazy about my weekly chart. Was because, well, if it's so bearish, why hasn't it done anything yet? Guys, we only had like 3 candles or 4 candles, and then we got the nuke. So yes, it was a month from when we got the reversal. It took a month to actually end up dumping us like this. But it's a weekly chart. It's going to take time to play out. And that being said, when I talk about a potential 63K level down here, I am not saying that's happening tomorrow or the next day or next week. That's more so it's a weekly chart. It could take weeks or months to play out. Who knows, right? But as it stands right now, the Wave Master here had this reversal signal right at the top. The high frequency trading bots here were pushing the downside. I was very vocal about that the last few weeks. Yeah, there's just so much going on for the bears right now that I'm just having a hard time forcing myself to try and be bullish. I'm always looking for reasons to prove myself wrong. And basically nothing that I've been warning about has been proven wrong yet. I can't wait to be a moon boy again, you guys. I want to make that very clear. I can't wait. Bull markets are very fun, but I just don't know right now. I'm not saying it's the end of the market cycle, but anytime we get this reversal warning, which is a very specific double top bearish divergence, overextended bearish divergence, it's a very specific one I've back tested. And just notice when we get that, we see very significant price action. Yeah, eventually it broke here. And that was a 30% correction to the downside, by the way. Let me just go from where we topped there to where we bottomed. Yeah, 30% correction that called. So yes, a very nice move to the downside over the next couple of months there. And notice what happened. Eventually we broke that divergence line that I had on the RSI. And that was my signal that, at that point, okay, yeah, I might be wrong about this time. We might end up breaking that resistance. And we did. Yeah, I lost a trade in there when I was trading resistance. That's totally fine. Invalidations, right? That's the thing. I have invalidations for this setup. I've been saying for over a month now, all that Bitcoin needed to do to make me switch off my bearish, my bear porn posts is we needed to either break resistance or we needed to break the RSI trend line. And neither of those things happened. Or, even the high frequency trading bots, start trading to the upside, start pushing the upside. But none of those things have happened, you guys. All of my bearish theories on the weekly are still standing true. And until that changes, I have no interest in really trying to catch a knife or call a bottom or anything like that. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. Bitcoin. So this super fib has almost played out. Technically, I personally think we go a little bit lower yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see us test that kind of a 786, 886 as a bullish one. Honestly, I still have zero interest in longing this market, but I at least see, I guess I see why somebody would long down here. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a bounce from down there just because we have broke some of this structure from back here. Because here we had a low, lower high. We obviously broke that level. From there, pulling back to the 786, 886 would not surprise me. So, yeah, wouldn't be too surprised to see us down here. But does it have to happen? Absolutely not. We just have to see what the charts do. But best thing you can do, actually, I shouldn't say that because everybody trades different. The thing that I like to do is I treat the first half of all of my trades as a scalp. I'm very quick to downsize my risk, take partial profits, adjust my stop loss, all that sort of stuff. I love doing that all very quickly with the first half of my position. And then if the move is going to continue from there, that's where I still have half my position to catch the home run trade, right? So I'm a big fan of laddering into positions, just like I'm a big fan of laddering out of positions. The host is a genius. Well, I definitely wouldn't say that, but I've spent a lot of time looking at some charts. Thank you, though. BTC hardly outperforms the growth of the M2 money supply at this point. It's a failed project. Yes and no. I do think, everybody was so excited. And, that's one thing to consider is everybody was so bullish on crypto. They're all saying, oh, yeah, everyone wants to be decentralized, and everybody in crypto seems to be, against the elites and stuff like that. And it's just, it's one of those things that people are against the big players until they decide that, oh, well, BlackRock's in the game and governments are in the game and banks are in the game. How could you possibly be bearish? Strategic reserve, guys, like the words strategic reserve have totally made everybody throw charts right out the window. Everybody thought for some reason, and I don't get this, because if somebody could please explain to me in the comments, what would be strategic about market smashing billions of dollars into all-time highs and pumping everyone else's bags to get dumped on? In my opinion, the more bullish the big players are on something, the more likely they are to wait for cheaper prices and accumulate at prices that we aren't patient enough to wait for. That's just a gut feeling. I have no idea what's actually going to happen. But, people celebrating the bigger players getting in the space and stuff, guys, they're going to tame Bitcoin completely. The fact that there's leverage now, there's ETFs. I mean, over $1 billion of ETFs outflowed from BlackRock yesterday, I believe it was. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I had read at one point this morning. So yeah, just understand that the bigger players that get in the space, the less exciting that bull markets are going to be. There's diminishing returns, right? Every cycle is significantly smaller on a percentage basis. Yeah, the dollar amount is way bigger, but percentage wise, these market cycles are getting way smaller. And people who are saying that, this market cycle is going to be different, I think you were very correct about that statement, but I think you were very wrong on what that meant. That's for nobody specific in here, by the way. That's just general comment, is that I do think this market cycle is different. The altcoin season was a complete disaster. Altcoins, there was the odd one that did good for a while, and then they would just get hammered again. They'd kind of move in phases. I've been saying this for, I don't know, a month or so now, that I truly believe the fun altcoin season is going to be the bear market, because this bull market, let's face it, it's been a bit of a lottery ticket. You had to get very lucky. And yes, people did make a crazy amount of money in meme coins and stuff like that. But just understand how lucky you had to be. Because guys, like, to be completely honest here, this market cycle, I have caught an 80x on a meme coin, and I've caught a 70x on a meme coin. I have caught a 12x on a meme coin. And I would say my meme coin wallets, no, I wouldn't just say, I can promise you my meme coin wallets are still down. After all of that, my meme coin wallets are down. Maybe I just suck at trading them. I'm more of I would rather trade charts than community and whatever. But that just goes to show how hard it has been to actually make money on the bull market side of things if you're looking at altcoins and meme coins. Whereas in the bear market, we know they're all going down 95% repeatedly. They'll bounce down 95, up, down 95. We're going to see it repeatedly. And I think, and we know it's all of them, because that's what bear markets do, where the bull market only favored a lucky few. So I think the downside is going to be fun. And I'm excited to keep shorting things like Trump, for example. Just because, again, it's a meme coin. I don't really care. It's nothing personal against him or anything. It's just, I know that meme coins and altcoins, if we're in a bearish trend, are going to generally do quite poorly. So I think the bear market's going to be a huge money maker as long as you're able to set that bullish hopium aside. But that's just kind of my thoughts, guys. And obviously leverage trading isn't for everybody. Everyone has their own thing, but and again, guys, anytime you're going to actually throw money behind a position, make sure you do your own back testing. TradingView has the replay feature. I mean, make sure that you have a set of rules that you're actually trading, and you have take profits, you have a stop loss, you have your invalidations, you have all that sort of stuff. and find out what your odds are. Don't just play around with real money without having a clue other than a gut feeling, right? You kind of want to figure out what your odds are when entering a position so you can keep a level head and you can have a systematic trade setup, because without a systematic trade setup, it's just not going to end well, basically. You need something that you can repeat over and over. And honestly, that's why I love the Stuber fibs so much. That's why I teach them. It's because it's a very specific strategy. It's fairly simple. It has clear invalidations. Yes, they're going to lose trades as well. Every trade setup loses trades sometimes, but it's more so about controlling those losses and catching big winners, right? So yeah, like I said, I think before you throw any real money at any sort of strategy, make sure you're back testing whatever you're looking at trading with real money. Yeah, Adrian, 75% are longs. That's hilarious. Jay Morgan, yes, exactly. I would say it can go up or down. And like I said earlier, if you're ever listening to a trader who doesn't think that way, you need to reconsider who you're listening to, because if anyone's doesn't have a plan B at all, that's very dangerous, right? Like, yeah, I'm saying it can go up or down from here, but from up here, I was very much saying that it can go down. Yeah, now that we've dumped 20%, absolutely we could go up. It's been some beautiful shorting. And I know some of you guys here with me would agree with that and have been crushing it to the downside. So yes, I am saying it could go up or down. Heath started shorting to hedge your spot. It gives me a heck of a lot more peace on the way down. Yeah, exactly, brother. Where do I see support? I mean, unless the trend is broken, like I said, if we end up breaking this lower high around, I'm going to say we need to break about 90K. If we can break above that level, get back into this old range here, then I'm open to the idea of some upside. Other than that, I mean, my target, unfortunately, is fairly far away yet. But again, it would take a while for that to play out. So it really depends what kind of time frame you're looking at, right? I'm usually trading the 5-minute or the 1-minute chart, but I still always look at the 4-hour and the weekly to kind of get an idea. And, you know, it's a perfect example is people think that, you know, trading the 1-minute is degenerate. But I personally think not planning ahead and, you know, even considering the possibility of a reversal is very degenerate as well, right? So this is basically, yeah, I'm not trading the weekly chart specifically, but I am very much so favoring my scalps the direction of the overall trend, which is why I still, and again, market structure is the same on any time frame. So I still look at the weekly even before I'm going to trade the longer time frames or the shorter time frames and stuff like that. Do not even try to justify yourself. Bearish is just the opposite of bullish. The market goes up and down 1,000 times a day. Exactly. And that's exactly what I mean by all that really matters is execution, guys. You can trade the upside. I can trade the downside. We can both win at the same, basically the same time. We can both lose. It totally depends how you're playing it. Adrian can't keep up with all of the shorts. I know. I hear you. Thoughts on an LTC short? I did want to bring up Litecoin. I will do that in a second here. Coin going to be the biggest short ever recorded. Kanye coin. Yeah, I could see that, depending if it goes to an exchange that you can short on, obviously, but I would be very interested in that. LTC short seems rational. No reason why it should not have crashed harder at this point. Guys, Litecoin is one that I have been shorting. I actually had the remaining quarter of my short stopped out recently at break even, and I've taken great profits on the way down. I was aiming for a little bit lower, but we obviously did hit some of my targets here for my 4-hour Stuber short. And yeah, it's not in the clear yet. It still has resistance up ahead, but we do keep testing resistance. So that's another thing. The fact that Litecoin keeps testing my resistance box, eventually it might break, right? Doesn't have to, but yeah, it's honestly, Litecoin looks better to me than Bitcoin does, which I hate to say. I absolutely hate saying that. Where did I learn my execution strategy? You're a great analysis, but executing is what you fail at. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of traders, quite honestly. This exact Stuber fib setup strategy, I honestly taught it to myself. It's just maybe I've stared at way too many charts. But that's basically what caused me to learn my own strategy, basically. The Stuber fibs are awesome strategy, by the way. Right on. I love to hear it. Hopefully you are in the Telegram channel, because like I said, that video where I actually break down the structure and kind of how I do range recognition and stuff like that really breaks down how I pull those fibs, because there's a little more to it than just a 786, 886 fib randomly. The stop loss on my short from 100K is actually above 100K. Because I've already closed 3/4 of it on the way down. I've taken some juicy profits off all of my short positions already. So yeah, I usually after that, I'll set my stop loss to around break even. I would actually have to check. That's on a different account because I don't want to touch it. But yeah, I know it's above 100K. Daniel, I got to learn these stupid fibs you keep talking about. Yeah, man. That's funny. Yeah, and I know maybe the name. I should explain myself, guys. If you're sick of hearing the word Stuber fibs, so it's just that someone else, a very good trader that I respect a lot, had an Uber fib strategy, and I always throw my name into songs and all sorts of random things. So I straight up stole the name Uber fibs and did my own strategy called the Stuber fibs. It was all in good fun. We made fun of it and all that sort of stuff. We got predictions on the price bottom. What about a prediction on time, weeks, months? Honestly, no idea. I am not a time analyst. I'm more of a structure analyst. I trade the structure. I don't know how long it takes to play out. Basically, if structure breaks, then it's broken. Again, if we do end up going down to that 63K, which I have no idea if we're actually going there, you guys, but I would expect it to take several weeks, but who knows? Chart looks awful. I hope you mean the health of it, and I hope you don't mean my video quality. Red Panda, it totally depends. Like quite often, if I'm trading the 1 minute, I'll look for my fib pulls on the 5 minute, for example. Basically, usually once a day at least, I'll kind of do just like I do in these streams. I'll kind of start zoomed out, look at the weekly. Has anything changed? No. Okay, check out the 4 hour. Has anything changed? Okay, I'm going to watch this. Now I'm going to zoom in. After I lay things out on the longer time frames, then I can zoom into the 5 minute, 1 minute, stuff like that. What needs to happen for me to make a sizable long position? That's where I need to basically reclaim 90K. Or I personally think the first thing that's going to lead me to become very bullish again will be when this RSI downtrend, this divergence line on my weekly RSI, when that actually breaks, just like it did back here, that's when I'll be open to the idea of some continuation to the upside. But until that happens, I can't really see us breaking the price resistance until that happens first. Another thing I would consider is these bars down here on my Wave Master indicator. Basically, this is high frequency trading bots pushing the price, and you can see that they're heavily favoring the downside right now. So if that changed to the upside, I would also consider it. But I really think that the RSI is going to be the first thing that leads me to be bullish. But like I said, if we end up reclaiming 90K, we break this lower high on the immediate trend here. We break that, reclaim this range support. Then I would also start looking for shorter time frame pullbacks. Basically, I'd start looking for bullish Stubers on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and stuff like that if we get that. Yeah, the fear and greed is quite low, you guys. I will give it that. Currently 21 on the MDX Algo dashboard. That's something to consider. I would never trade based solely on something like that. That's just like the long short. I wouldn't base a trade on that alone. But it's just a couple of things to consider as a little bit of a warning that, hey, you know, maybe we do see a bounce. That's again why I'm saying that, yeah, you know, even though I'm bearish, we could go up. We get back into that range, or, you know, we start to be a little less fearful, start to climb again. Yeah, absolutely could happen, right? LTC, BTC, that's actually an interesting one. I haven't looked at that in a while. I want to look at Bitstamp because it's the oldest. Yeah, like Litecoin looks a lot better than Bitcoin in my opinion. Even the weekly, like, man, it's actually crazy how good that looks to me. Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, Litecoin looks a lot better than a lot of the other price structure. And just to really, guys, I'm going to very micro analyze this. Let's just call this low, low, low. Actually, here. The last low, basically, before our lowest low was right here. This is very micro analyzing, but it is also the weekly chart. And you guys know, those of you who watch my Stuber Fib videos and stuff like that, you know I love micro analyzing. That's where I look for my potential pivots, basically. And the fact that we set that lower low here, so we have our low, lower low, that means this would be our high, right? My lower high on the very micro trend. Yes, I understand it's the micro trend, but we broke that, right? And actually, if you really want to, some of you guys know where I'm going to go with this, but this would have been my bullish signal, basically, right? I'll make it green because that's where we broke my structure. Look what ends up happening. Pull a fib from the bottom to where we topped. Oh, look where we end up finding support, right in the Stuber fib pocket, 786 to 886, even back here also. So again, guys, like, I mostly look at this trading strategy on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, but you start to see it everywhere. This obviously the smaller ranges you pull, you have to start taking profits way quicker. Not all of them are worth playing. Sometimes you can, when you get really good at spotting these, you can see them totally play out within one candle. You know, once you start to see them, you just start to see them everywhere. And I know a few people in the chat can vouch for me there. But yeah, that still looks like quite a trend. I don't know. It looks to me like Litecoin is going to big time outperform Bitcoin for the next little while. But again, we'll just have to see. I'm shocked by this. I would have thought that if Bitcoin was getting hammered, then so would Litecoin. But the market doesn't care about my opinions. So. Refresh MDX Algo, sure. See what the long short and what the fear says. So the longs have dropped very slightly below 74%, and extreme fear is 10. So yeah, there's extreme fear in the market. So maybe we do get that bounce soon, right? Like I said, I'm very open to that idea. I would love to be a moon boy again. I would love to get into some sort of a reclaim of this level and then start looking for bullish setups to play. I would love it. Anyways, guys, this was just going to be a nice quick stream from me. So I think that's about all I had to go over today. Hopefully you did find this stream useful. If so, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And as I mentioned, if you want access to my private Telegram channel where I share some of my theories, my trade setup ideas, and so on, there is a link down below for that. To access this channel, as I mentioned, you must sign up to my BloFin link using my affiliate link there, and you need to deposit 300 USDT into your futures account. This is not a form of payment to me. This is your own money to trade with in your new BloFin account. So if that does interest you, yeah, follow the steps in the description down below or scan the QR code. With that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. I hope you are all crushing this market. Good luck out there. Be safe. Don't forget to pay yourself and protect yourself, more importantly. With that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace. And of course, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate having you guys here. And I love doing these with you guys. It honestly helps me keep a level head and just being able to talk through my own feelings. And yes, you did hear a cat in the background, 2 of them probably. But yeah, with that, stay safe, my friends. Peace.